Hey everyone, today we're making a restaurant style Nyonya whole sea bass and coconut milk curry. This coconut based curry, made with whole sea bass, pineapple, and long beans, is a vibrant and flavorful dish that showcases the richness of Nyonya cuisine. A whole sea bass is cooked in a creamy coconut milk broth infused with a complex blend of spices. The addition of sweet pineapple and crisp long beans adds a delightful contrast of textures and flavors. This is usually served in a chafing dish at restaurants to keep the curry lightly simmering throughout the meal. This whole sea bass has been prepared by gutting and scaling, then it's been rinsed well and patted dry with kitchen paper towel. We leave the head intact in this recipe. For a whole sea bass of approximately 1 kilo, we're going to add 1 teaspoon salt, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, as well as half a teaspoon of black pepper powder. Now we're going to rub in these ingredients thoroughly on both sides as well as inside the fish and set aside for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to take a lime-sized piece of tamarind pulp and we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of hot water and leave this to soften. To steam the fish, we're going to heat about 2 inches of water in a large wok. A wok is preferred, and place a steaming rack over the water. As the water comes to a boil, place parchment paper over the rack and scatter some whole shoots of spring onion and sprigs of coriander leaves. Place the fish over this prepared bed, and then we're going to cover and steam for about 10 minutes. This is sufficient for this size of fish. Make sure you use a large enough wok to be able to place your whole fish and cover it with the lid securely. Don't overcook your fish. Reduce or increase the time according to the weight of the fish. As the fish is getting steamed, we're going to prepare our spice paste or rempa. For this, we have 7 shallots that have been peeled, 5 to 6 large cloves of garlic peeled, 2 fresh red chilies, these are mild in heat, chopped, 3 teaspoons of ginger, peeled and roughly chopped, 3 teaspoons of galangal, also peeled and roughly chopped. If you like, you can add a little bit of the tender white portions of lemongrass. I prefer to add it later on in the curry. Next, we're going to add some spices. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. You can also use the fresh turmeric root if you have that. 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds. And 3 teaspoons of coriander powder. We're also going to add half to 1 teaspoon of shrimp paste. You can use either Thai shrimp paste or Malaysian belacan, whichever you like. So I've got this small blender and we're going to blend all these ingredients to make a nice smooth paste, as smooth as you can get it. I haven't added any water and as you can see it's quite smooth. You need to chop the harder ingredients like galangal and lemongrass if you're using it into smaller pieces if you're using a blender like this. Traditionally, a pestle and mortar is used to pound these ingredients to painstakingly make a paste, but with a blender like this, life is easier. So the fish has been steaming for about 9 minutes and I quickly checked it and it's quite tender at this point. So we're going to switch off the heat and set this aside. We don't want to overcook the fish because it's going to cook again in the coconut sauce curry. Now we're going to be cooking that spice paste or rempa that we just made. To a large non-stick wok this time, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil, and as it heats up, we're going to add in all the spice paste. And now we're going to cook this on a moderate heat, stirring frequently until the oil separates and the mixture becomes a little golden on the sides. During this process, we're also going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried red chili paste. This is the paste made from blending rehydrated dry red chilies. I posted a video on how to make that earlier, link to that in the description box below. So this paste is going to cook for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I've got 1 stalk of lemongrass, just the tender white portion. We're going to pound it gently To bruise it slightly, set that aside. And we've got about half a cup of pineapple cut into small wedges like this. 1 tomato, also chopped into small wedges. And 1 cup of long beans cut into 2-inch lengths. About 5 minutes later, our spice paste is cooked. It developed a light golden color just around the edges, and the oil had separated, and it starts to move around in one mass. And you'll also notice that the raw smell of the spices is gone by now. At this stage, we're going to add in 200 ml of Kara coconut cream. We're going to stir the coconut cream briskly till it's homogeneous. Allow a little bit of oil to separate before adding some water, and then bring it back to simmer. At this stage, we're going to add in the water. Add about 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to add 1 cup of water, and I'm also going to rinse out the carton of Kara coconut cream with the remaining half cup of water. I've added that as well. And as it comes back to a simmer, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt, or to taste. We're also adding in that bruised stalk of lemongrass, the chopped long beans. So the tamarind pulp has been soaked, and we've strained it to get this tamarind water. We're not going to add all of it in one go. You add a little bit, give it a taste, and add more as needed. You might not require the whole amount. To balance the flavors, we're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of raw sugar or palm sugar. For that fresh citrusy scent, we're going to add 2 kaffir lime leaves that have been torn. And we're going to add in the pineapple wedges now. Now as this curry simmers, we're going to gently add in the steamed fish. Be careful not to break the fish in the transferring process. Keep spooning over the curry, over the fish, till the curry is simmering once again. And as it starts to come to a boil, we're going to add in the tomato wedges at this point. Now we're going to cover tightly and simmer again for another 5 minutes on medium heat so that the fish finishes cooking in the flavor-rich coconut milk and the vegetables are tender. Just before serving, add 1 sprig of freshly chopped coriander leaves. This curry is best served immediately while it's still simmering with steamed white rice. Enjoy your delicious Nyonya style whole sea bass curry.